Hey, it's Hilmon Sorey here from ClozeLoop, where the B2B sales pros go to train. Let's talk a little bit about sales training. How do you know when you need it, and how do you know what you need? So, first up, number one indication that you may need sales training. You're finding that there's not enough velocity in your pipeline. In other words, what this looks like is pregnant pipelines. Pregnant pipelines mean that they're big, they're huge, you've got a lot of deals in there, but they never end up coming through, right? So the challenge with this is that you've got an issue from stage to stage to stage. Which stage is something for you to figure out, but a lot of these things fall down to the ability to qualify. Sometimes we're popping things into the pipeline just based upon the fact that someone says, yeah, I'm interested. Could be interesting to learn a little bit more about you. I want to stay on top of the latest trends. That does not convert to business. Or maybe we get to the point where we get to do a demo with our prospects. And the demo is fantastic. Again, they're gleaning information from us, and once they've got the information, they go away. Sales training is an awesome way to develop discipline on your team with respect to how they go about uncovering pain in prospecting, in qualification, even in demos. Number one reason you're looking for sales training, you're trying to create pipeline velocity. A number two reason. Number two is, hey, we're finding that we're not holding our margins. What does this correlate to? This means we're discounting. This is what I mean by not holding margins, right? Every other day, somebody's coming to you going, you know, they say they're interested. If only we can shave this off the price. If only we can add a year. If only we can move this feature into this product set. None of that is a good situation, because you know what it means? It means that your sellers are not uncovering enough pain that's correlated to a value proposition where your solution is significantly less than the opportunity that it presents for the prospect, right? For the pain that it solves. So how do you solve this problem? You teach your sellers how to uncover the cost of a problem in a sales process so that you don't have to discount to sell things. Number three, we simply want to increase the win rate. If you're in a very competitive marketplace and you've got folks who are dealing with conversations that they don't seem to win, it could be an issue of them identifying whether or not they're having conversations that fall into their winning zone. This is the area where your product or service excels. This is why you've built your product. This is why you've honed your service. This is the conversation you long to have because you know you'll close it. There's this other thing that exists, it's called the battlefield. The battlefield is a race to the bottom. This is when it's hard to hold margins because your prospect views you and your competitors to be pretty much similar. So there's no brand loyalty, there's no allegiance whatsoever, and you know what? I'm gonna buy the cheapest thing if all things are equal. Then there's that real danger zone, which is your losing zone. Your losing zone is where you never want to have conversations, but you know what we find? A lot of sellers try to have conversations with prospects that really shouldn't be buying from them. And the death of a salesperson is having a conversation with someone who is never going to buy. This is what correlates to that concept of the pregnant pipeline. We're putting them in pipeline, we're putting them in CRM as a salesperson. Prospects just kicking tires and checking things out, and they're gonna make a decision that may not be us. Meanwhile, we're using the resources of the organization and our own resources trying to pull them across the line. So what's the point? Sales training helps you get your sellers to where they are having conversations exclusively in the winning zone, because they're able to identify them and they're also able to drive the conversations for your ideal customer profile or for the personas that you're trying to target into that area where they know they win or they disqualify them out. Great place for sales training. All right, another place that's really important for companies that are trying to grow, I always say, love the one you're with. That means the more you can sell to your existing customer, you increase retention, you lower the friction in the sales process, and you increase loyalty, and there's no more churn, which is an awesome thing because then you're not constantly trying to plug a hole in the bottom of the bucket of revenue. So what do we need to do there? We need to constantly be searching for new opportunities. Now, some folks might say, Hilmon, this doesn't sound like a sales training opportunity, and it might be because it belongs to your success team. And I know the success team does not want to hear that they are salespeople. They're all about success. Call it success. I don't care what you call it. What it is an opportunity for you to use discovery as a tool to uncover further opportunities to sell to your existing clients. This isn't just to pile on additional stuff. It's because you're solving additional problems. They already trust you. You're a trusted advisor. They're already buying from you. There must be other things you can do to keep their allegiance, to grow their relationship with you, and to scale the growth of that account throughout the tenure of the relationship with your company. Important piece here. This is all about sales training. You can call it something different if your success team doesn't like the term, but it's an important piece and a great opportunity for you to scale the organization effectively. Number 5, drum roll. Okay, someone please tell me, how the heck do you coach someone on something they haven't been trained to do? If you've got salespeople who are online all day long, going from guru to guru and blog to blog, picking up a tip here, a trick there, a piece here, trying to stitch these things together, and you're gonna try to manage and coach them, how do you do that? I really, honestly, I don't understand. How do you do that? You can't have anything cohesive on a team. You can't hold anyone accountable to anything. You have zero transparency in the process, and you're not helping people grow. They're just putting these things together, which are completely disparate and don't stitch together in the first place. So, highly recommend train your team. Get them level set on a common language, on a common process, on something that has some rigor and accountability, where they're able to say, I learned this thing on Monday, I failed at it on Tuesday, I calibrated it on Wednesday, I had more success on Thursday, and they're able to see themselves grow. This is great for professional development. Professional development is great for retention. Learning is just part of the culture of a sales organization, learning and curiosity. If your sales team isn't learning and isn't curious, then you gotta do something differently. That's all I'll say about that. At any rate, here is the goal. If you're going to coach people, you have to give them a playbook and some training upon which you're going to do the coaching. Otherwise, you're just sitting back and it's a net new conversation every week and there's nothing that builds upon itself. So, do yourself a favor. If you're gonna do some training yourself, that's great. There are some great resources out there. There are some asynchronous resources, there are some on-demand resources, there is the virtual instructor-led world of resources, and there's the opportunity to get someone who's just for your organization that's going to do that great. Yes, ClozeLoop does this stuff, but a lot of other organizations do too. If you're interested to learn more about these 5 specific issues and how they can impact their organization, check the link below. We've included a little more information there and an FAQ that talks about how these things impact your company. Also shares a little bit about how ClozeLoop has gone about growing organizations. We've worked with over 350 companies and had a significant impact. At any rate, if you like the video, hit like. If you want to subscribe and hear more about how you can grow your B2B sales team, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.